Hey, what's up guys, Jack here, hope you're all doing well, and today we're taking a look at a fast-paced free-to-play FPS called Dirty Bomb that's just entered open beta. What's it all about, and is it worth your precious time? The game is developed by a company called Splash Damage, who've got a lot of history when it comes to competitive FPS games. More recently, you'll know them for Brink, which wasn't received particularly well, but they also were responsible for the excellent enemy territory Quake Wars back in the day, which was a very popular game, especially among competitive players. The game's got a very fast and smooth movement system, which you can tell is kind of influenced by their older Wolfenstein enemy territory game. There's no free running per se like there was in Brink, but movement is fast and you can use walls to double jump to reach higher levels, cross between buildings or get over obstacles. The gunplay here is pretty sharp, and although the game has ADS to give extra accuracy at range, you can easily just use normal hip fire at close to medium ranges without any real massive penalty, and this is what helps keeps the gameplay so fast and fluid. It's set in a evacuated London that's had some sort of a nuclear event, and the environments are pretty cool here. I like the art style, grey English skies with some futuristic elements, and slick glass building leads to a nice contrast. The subway map in particular is one of my personal favourites. Dirty Bomb features a simple class system, so before you join into a game you can select 3 mercs as they're called that you can use once you're playing, and when in the game you can then change between these 3 mercs anytime you die and respawn. Each merc has different weapons and different abilities, therefore you get different playstyles, movement speeds and health. They've also got bronze, silver and gold variations that can be obtained from crates that are dropped in the game, with each variation giving extra perks if you equip it. Each mercenary falls under a category that's got a specific role you can play as. These are Assault, Fire Support, Engineer, Medic and Sniper, and each merc might have different abilities and weapons, but they still play the same as the others in their class. Take Aura for example, she's a medic, she's got a shotgun as her main weapon, and then her 2 abilities are a defibrillator and a healing station. Her advantage is that she moves really fast, but she's got slightly less health than some of the other mercs as a trade-off. This is the case for all of the medics. In game she can instantly revive teammates and provide health, but she isn't the only one that can do this. When a player is killed, they lie unconscious on the ground, unable to move. They then have got to be finished off or completely killed. A knife is going to do this with 1 hit, or you can just shoot them, but if a player comes along they can help you up, but it takes around 5 to 6 seconds to be revived and they're unable to shoot during that time, so it can be pretty dangerous in most situations. The medic of course has the defibs, and that's where the strength of the class comes in. They can revive you instantly with those defibs, making them valuable especially when pushing for an objective. Because of the different mercs and their different stat values, you need to be playing differently depending on who you're playing with. For instance, if you're playing as Aura and you've got 80 health, you're going to be fairly easy to kill compared to say a merc like Fragger who's got 150 health. Each has a different role and you need to learn each one and play to their strengths. The game's currently picking up steam in the competitive scene, which is quite interesting to me, a testament to how well it plays, and currently in competitive game modes only 1 merc class is allowed per team to balance out the play, so you couldn't have say 5 auras in one team. Competitively it's played as 6v6 on the stopwatch game mode, but you can play in higher numbers on public servers and still get a pretty good experience. That takes us nicely onto the different game modes here. There are currently only 2 modes available, but a third called Execution is coming soon. The 2 game modes are called Objective and Stopwatch, but they're both essentially very similar. Objective mode has the attackers going for an objective, and once that's completed they move on to a different part of the map and are given a new objective. It's pretty straightforward. There are 3 objectives per map and they differ depending on the one that you're playing. The objectives include escorting an extraction vehicle to its destination by repairing it, and then you stand close to it to enable it to move. You could be hacking or bombing a blockade at a certain point of the level, or carrying 2 data cores to specific terminals. The round ends when the attackers complete all of the objectives or the defenders successfully defend them in the allotted time. Stopwatch is the same mode essentially, but once a team has played as attackers, they switch to play as defenders, and the winning team is the team who completes the most objectives and or does it in the fastest time. On top of that, and this is a big plus for the game in open beta, more AAA FPS games should really take suit and learn from this when they're releasing competitive game modes. There's actually a built-in ranked matchmaking system that takes into account time spent playing the game, KD, and your win-loss ratio, so you can actually jump into a competitive game straight away if you want to do that, whether that's on your own or with a party of friends. That way, if you want to start playing ranked, you know you're going to be matched up against similar skilled opponents most of the time and won't just get stomped on. Interestingly, Dirty Bomb already has a good following on PC with around 9,000 to 10,000 players and growing quite regularly. Some reputable CS players have been seen playing it, as well as a lot of the Battlefield Pro teams, including Fnatic, and that should tell you all you need to know about the potential of this game. There's been numerous test cups already, and now that it's hit open beta, it's going to start gaining a lot more attention. Available mercs rotate quite regularly, so you can experience ones you haven't yet unlocked, but if you want to obtain them full time, you need to either buy them using in-game credits that you get from just playing, or if you choose to, you can actually purchase them with real money, of course, from the store. Not everyone's cup of tea, of course, but as far as I can tell, there's no pay-to-win elements here. These are all pretty standard features these days for a free-to-play game. There's also a starter pack on Steam for $20 that gives you 50,000 in-game credits and unlocks 5 mercs straight away. So there we have it. I've certainly had a lot of fun already based on what I've played here. For public players and competitive players alike, this game is pretty fun. Overall, the competitive community seems to be getting behind Dirty Bomb, and the most important thing here is that it's a lot of fun to play, especially if you group up with some friends, because it really does reward playing as a team. That being said, it's got a lot of similar stiff FPS competition coming up this year in the form of Overwatch and Battleborn. This type of high production value team-based FPS is becoming increasingly popular nowadays. And there we have it. Let me know what you think of the game so far, if you've played it, or just based on the footage, what your initial impressions are. Link is in the description below if you want to check out more details on the game. As always, thanks for watching guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.